Hello guys, welcome to this new class. Today we are going to learn how to use the reflexive pronouns. When do we use a reflexive pronoun? The reflexive pronouns are those which are used when the action is made over the subject of the sentence. They are also used when we want to emphasize that the subject made an action and not other person. We have two examples with two pictures that you can see. The first one, I cut myself while I was cutting some bread. And the second one, enjoy yourself. Types of reflexive pronouns. We can see that for each personal pronoun we have one reflexive pronoun, and we also have one example on this table that we can see here. For the personal pronoun I, the reflexive pronoun is myself, and we have as an example, I dye my hair myself. We're trying to express that the subject, or the same person that is represented by the subject, is the person that is doing the action over itself. For the personal pronoun you, the reflexive pronoun is yourself. You have cut yourself. We should visit the doctor. We're saying that the subject has made the action over itself. For he, the reflexive pronoun is himself. He is enjoying himself. For she, the reflexive pronoun is herself. She introduced herself to the audience. For it, the reflexive pronoun is itself. The TV has broken by itself. For we, the reflexive pronoun is ourselves. We make ourselves up before going out to the disco. For you in plural, the reflexive pronoun is yourselves. You learned the lesson by yourselves. And finally, for the personal pronoun they, the reflexive pronoun is themselves. They hurt themselves with a knife. Now, how do we use the reflexive pronouns? We use the reflexive pronouns to express that an action is made by and over the same person, in this case the subject. The reflexive pronoun goes always after the main verb in a sentence. We have two pictures and two examples, two sentences, to look at the position where the reflexive pronouns goes, and that they are making reference to the fact that the subject is making the action or is doing the action over itself. The first one, they are preparing themselves for the opera. They are preparing themselves. They are making the action that is prepare over themselves. The second example, dry yourself quickly. You're completely wet. Dry yourself. This is expressing that this man should dry himself. He has to do the action over himself. He has to dry himself because he's completely wet. And as we can see, the reflexive pronoun is always after the main verb in the sentence. Look at this. Prepare, the verb prepare, and then the reflexive pronoun, or in this case, the main verb is dry, and the reflexive pronoun is right after the main verb. Let's notice that on the previous examples, the action is made over the subject that is doing it. And to be completely sure of it, we can make the following questions about the sentences. For example, the first one. They are preparing themselves for the opera. We can make the questions. Who is being prepared? They are. They are being prepared. That's the reason why we use themselves. Whom were they preparing? Themselves. For the second example, dry yourself quickly. You're completely wet. We have these two questions. The first one, who should be dried? Him. Whom should you dry? Myself. That's how you notice, or that's how you decide which one of the list of reflexive pronouns you should use. Now, in English, we don't use the reflexive pronouns when the verb expresses daily activities that we are used to do for ourselves. For example, shave, wash, dress, etc. We never use reflexive pronouns with those verbs. We also use the reflexive pronouns to make emphasis over the subject that is doing the action. But look, attention, in this case, the subject do the action, but it doesn't receive it. It's not made over itself. We use the reflexive pronouns to highlight that the subject did the action and not other person. And in this case, it's usual that it goes after the subject or at the end of the complement. We also have two examples here in two pictures, so let's read the first one. The writer himself gave the presentation of his new book. We are emphasizing on the fact that was the writer who gave the presentation of his new book. We're making emphasis over the fact that the writer gave the presentation of his new book. But he's not making the action of give the presentation over himself. No. He is giving the presentation to the public. We have this second example. I built this kennel myself. She's making emphasis on the fact that she built the kennel alone. That she did it. We can also use this structure that is made with the elements by plus the reflexive pronoun. This structure is used to express that somebody does an action alone or without help. We can make the idea more clear if we look at these examples and these pictures. The first one. She wrote this poem by herself. This lady is trying to express that the girl wrote the poem without help, alone. Or in this second example, now I live by myself. This guy means that he's living alone with nobody, just by himself. We can also find reflexive pronouns in certain expressions, like, for example, help yourself. And we have a sentence that can make us like a clearer idea of the meaning. The dinner is ready. Help yourself. Help yourself mean like if you want to drink water, you can take the jar and help yourself. You can pour some water on a glass and help yourself. It's like you can take the water by yourself. The second expression, make yourself at home, is for example, when you go to somebody else's houses and you want to feel more comfortable, or when somebody is allowing you to feel more comfortable at home. So we have this expression, this sentence. Take off your shoes, sit on the couch, and make yourself at home. This person is inviting you to be like more relaxed or more comfortable at his home or her home. This third expression, behave yourself, is used, for example, when somebody is having bad behavior or is not behaving like in the appropriate way. You can tell to that person like, behave yourself. For example, in this sentence, Adam, you're embarrassing me. Behave yourself. We have this other expression that is enjoy yourself. And we have this sentence, good luck in Thailand and enjoy yourself. Is, for example, when somebody is telling you that he waits or that he expects that you have a very good experience if you are planning on doing something, any activity or trip or travel or adventure. Okay, guys, this was everything. Thank you very much. Thanks a lot, and I hope you liked the class. I'll see you in a next class. So, bye bye. Take care.